So I'm sure that there is no challenge from my end.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. Good evening, everyone. So today we'll be having a quick class, like an introduction to prototyping. Okay, so just take a moment and breathe in. Okay, are you done breathing in? Okay, awesome. I can feel everybody's you know, I can feel your breath, like it's really evident. Okay, so let's get started. So those of us that breathed, hope we did that without losing our breath. All right. So now let's talk about prototyping. So prototyping is all about bringing your designs to life. It basically constitutes the heart of an iterative design process, right? So when you're done doing all the dirty and clean work on Figma, and you have used your colors, you've used your components, you've done everything, you've created, an amazing design project, like from the beginning to the end. So that's where prototyping comes in, right? So it basically reduces risk and uncertainty. It's very important for us to understand the reason why prototyping is important. So, sorry, there's a feedback from somewhere. Can you please mute your mic or something? Okay. Yeah, so I was saying that it basically reduces risk and uncertainty and helps to save time and money. So I know that all of us here are going to be global designers. I believe so much in this track, right? So you would work with product teams, and definitely you'd want to share your screen, like share a product you're working on, so that the stakeholders, or even if it's just a client you're working for, so they can see, okay, this is how this app would look like at the end of the day, right? So it helps to save time and money. So rather than a design or a project is being completed and we just launch it into the market, or maybe it development starts, and then at some point we're like, okay, we feel like this interaction is not what we want our users to see. We want, maybe there should be a sliding, or maybe there should be a slide up, or something of the sort. So it helps to save time and money. It lets you to test your assumptions, because when you're done designing and then you decide to prototype your work, you may want to upload it on Maze, for example, right? So that people can go through the flow and see how the interaction is on the website. That is basically where the user flow comes in. Remember, we had talked about user flow at some point in this class. So you've put in all the knowledge together, and you said, okay, from this screen, it should lead our users to XYZ screen. From XYZ screen, it should lead them to another place, right? So in that kind of situation, you have designed the flow. So you now prototype it in that same manner of way you had planned out, okay, this is how this app is going to come out at the end of the day. It also helps to identify and address usability issues, communication interactions, and much more, right? So you want to know how usable your product is going to be. You want to know how usable this app is going to be at the end of the day. So you prototype it, right, and then share it out there, either to stakeholders, or maybe the product owners, or even if it's developers, as a case may be, so that they know that, okay, this is how this app is going to run. This is what is going to happen. This is how usable or how functional this app is. Okay, so before connecting the wires, I just call them wires, right? Because like the first screen we saw that had all those multiple, and some people call it cobwebs, there are different names for it. So, but before you connect the wires, there are some things you need to take note of as a designer, right? So firstly is that you need to ensure that your frames or your artboards are properly labeled. We had said this severally, like when you create a frame, like maybe you create an iPhone frame, you don't just leave it to be iPhone X point ABC, because you're going to hand off the design to maybe a new designer that could come on the project. So we don't just want to be seeing iPhone X or iPhone 11. Like, you have to ensure that you properly label it. It would also help you to organize yourself so that you know that, okay, this is what this particular screen is about. It would also help you when you're prototyping. So now, okay, if I designed maybe an empty state or maybe an error state, like an error state, like a screen that has like an error state, if there is no network, this is what users are supposed to see. It helps both you and incoming designers, or even people who are not designers but members of the product or the team you're working with, to know that, okay, this is what this particular screen or frame is about. So ensure that your frames or your artboards are properly labeled. Also, you can add the keyboard view to those screens that ask for text inputs. An example is this here. So just like you can see the screen, you don't just leave it blank. Like, you just want to create context. So for the sake of prototyping, you may need to, like, maybe we have like, okay, this is the stage when, or this is the stage when users are typing in their details on the platform. You may need to include maybe the keyboard to those kind of views. And then it's very important for you to organize your UI flows. You cannot just keep a particular flow at the left and then you put another one at the right. Like, everything just has to be arranged. It's not supposed to just be haphazard, like, scatter the way it's in your mind. No, like, you need to organize your UI flow so that everything looks proper. Okay, so running to Figma now. All right, so I would swap my screen. Okay, you all can see my screen, right? I think I've swapped so that I'm sure that some people will not say we can't see a transition. Okay, great. So I remember last two classes, or the last class I had with you, we designed the travel app. Can you all remember the travel app that had the orange kind of feel? Let me see if I can quickly go there. No, that's 27. Okay, yeah. So we're just going to have a little introduction on how to prototype, like very basic prototyping that you can just share, to friends, loved ones, or people who you may need feedback from. So we'll just work on this together. So remember, okay, so let me just say one thing. When you're designing for products, you're designing for the web, you're designing for you're designing a mobile frame, like you're designing a mobile screen, and then maybe you are designing for a mobile app. Like, there are three different things. So if, for example, I want to design a mobile app, for example, that will be launched on Play Store, there are some features or some functionalities that would be on a normal mobile page that you can just type google.com, right? That would not be in something of that sort, which you download on Play Store. I'm sure I'm not trying to get us confused, right? Because we are going to design this now, but a mobile app for this particular product we had designed together in the last class. So if there are any confusions, okay, just to be sure you all can still hear me. So I know that everyone is following. No questions so far. Okay, silence means yes. So I'll just proceed. Okay, awesome. Thank you for your feedback. All right, so we'll be designing. I wanted us to just go into prototyping, but I just feel like the ideas I could share would be beneficial to all of us, right? So we'll just design a a simple, we'll design a splash screen, onboarding screens for the same app. Remember that the app is basically a platform where people can decide to travel. Like if I want to travel now to probably, sorry, give me 1 minute, please. Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to check out something. Okay, so I was saying that we'll be designing a mobile app, like the very same design or the same product, which we started working on in the last class I had with you all. So we'll just get right into it. So basically design a splash screen, onboarding flows, and then sorry, you all can hear me, right? What's happening? Okay, awesome. Okay, yeah, and onboarding flows, onboarding screen, sorry. Yeah, so just get right into it now. Okay, so let's go over here. So like we said before, we are going to rename we are going to rename our ads board, so we can call this splash screen. And also kudos to everyone that followed the last classes we've had. We've seen improvement in your design, so well done. It's very important to know that, okay, all the feedback that was given were being implemented, so well done. All right, so this is a splash screen. I have, let me see, can I just open this quickly? So I have worked on this already, but I just want to show us how all of this came to life. So I've given it a name, Trav Body. So I will just paste this logo. For those who would want to be doing the same thing I'm doing, I hope I'm not too fast. Okay, so on the background, like you can see here, I had included like some icons of, airplanes. I hope it's clear enough. Some icons of airplanes that look like, you are traveling left, right, and center. Okay. So I'll just get the same icons and just stick it over here. Okay. So I'll paste this and send it to the back. Okay. So this is just basically a splash screen. All right, so let me create another frame. I could just duplicate this and take all of this out. Onboarding one, onboarding screen one. Okay. So we know the importance of onboarding screens, right? If you're designing a mobile app, for example, like onboarding flow is a major, it's a major feature that, conventionally best practices is supposed to be like it's supposed to be part of a mobile app. Why? Because when you're designing an onboarding screen, you're selling the value of this product to first time users. So it's just like when you have a landing page. So just like when we had, where is this? Okay, just like when we had this landing page here, and we said something about designing landing pages. So this will influence if your users are even going to want to explore how the app looks like, right? The information or the value you're giving to them at the very first instance, like the very first thing they see, would influence if they want to even proceed or if they even want to know what this product or this app is about. So we're going to replace that same idea now, like in an onboarding screen. So now we can say that, let's say on this application, we want to sell the value that, okay, you can have, um, we have so many, like let's say, for example, you have a list of amazing travel places, right? Maybe in Morocco or in Tanzania or in Africa or in whatever country or whatever part of the world, right? So we're just going to have 3 onboarding screens. Let me paste this. I really hope I'm not too fast today because, okay. So the first one here, we just said best travel buddy. So you just kindly ignore the copies here. They are just the same all through. Okay, so we can just say best travel buddy, right? So you can notice here that we have the ellipses here. This you're trying to tell your users now that there are actually 2 other pages that will be swiping through for them to, that will still sell the value of the product. So you're not making it look totally inactive. Why I'm saying this is because I remember some of the feedback I had given to us. So if you want to design an ellipse, like one should look active and then the other ones would look like a bit inactive. So users can know that, okay, there's still more content or there are still more slides in the other pages. So I'll just quickly get these 3 and just paste it here. We still use the same font we had used before, but I decided to use Manrope. Manrope is also an awesome font. Okay, so I don't want to create, I don't just want to go into prototyping, but let's see how this goes. So I have this already, so I'll just get this and this. It's just for context, like the inclusion of this time and all this date stuff. Okay, so this is just the basic shape. We know how to create call to action buttons. I'm not sure I need to do that again. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so let me check this 61, 65. Okay, so let me get this images here since so we can just save time. Okay. If there's any question on how I did whatever thing you're saying, you can just let me know. Let me take this up a bit. Okay, so it's very important for you to change the user, like these icons here, or these circles, so that one could know that this is for another page. So let me, sorry. Okay, so I've done that. I'll do the same here. We just make this 180. So it swaps. Okay, so let me get these images we have here. Best vacation plan in Africa. Are we sure? Okay. Okay, then I will get this now. Okay. How to drag frame. You just hold you hold I think if you're using Windows, you should hold, I think it's shift. You just select the frame and then you click and drag. But if you're using a Mac, you can hold your command key, the command. Okay. The network cell Wi-Fi, I have them already. Like, okay, but there are ways, like you can actually check, like you can download the icon separately and arrange them well. And this is just like the text, but most UI kits just come with it. So, but one way to do is like you can manually download the icons and just arrange it. The black line for scrolling at the bottom, this can just be done manually. Like you just create a line and then give it a size. Okay, yeah, thank you, Leonard. For Windows, it's control and a cursor. Okay, awesome. So we've created the onboarding screens now. This is 48, the height, and then the sizes. Also, don't forget to turn on your grid. I had done that here, but since I've done it already, I didn't turn it on for the other one. Okay, awesome. So please turn on your grids. If you're doing the same thing I'm doing, like turn on your grids, 5 counts, 24 margin, and 20 for gutter. Okay, awesome. So we'll just proceed now. Um, okay, so I'll just talk a little bit about user experience now before we proceed. So two things are involved in designing a product such as this, right? You may want to, dependent on the business perspective or your conversations with product owners or like the marketers. So two things are involved. It's either you want your users to create an account firstly before they see all the products or all the amazing places that this platform has, like in their catalog or in their database, right? There are some products that they would allow you to, you don't necessarily need to create an account. What could be here, which was what was here before, could just be discover now, right? So if I tap on discover now, for example, it will just take me to see all the products, or sorry, not all the products, all the amazing places based on the information I have given to the system, right? So I just want to say this out there. So it's dependent on what you as a designer want to do at the end of the day. And you're not just the only one making a design decision. You may need to get feedback from your product owners. You may also need to conduct user testing, right, to know which of these flows is better, like which of this experience is going to be best for your users, right? So you may want to say users may not necessarily need to sign up on the platform before they see all the places we have a catalog of, right? So they can just tap on discover now and boom, they can see everything. Then probably maybe if they want to select a particular place, okay, that's when we now ask them to create an account. So this is just me discussing with us, right? So there are some other situations where product owners or you as a designer, or based on market statistics or whatever thing you want to do, you may want to say that, okay, I want users to create an account. We want to get their details, right? Because we feel like if people just come on the platform and just explore, they may choose not to proceed, right? But once we've gotten their details, probably maybe we can send them emails, right? Or maybe we can send them push notifications, or want to send them newsletters. So I just had to point this out here, because you're not just designing UI, you also have to think about the user experience and also the business part of it. Okay, so if that is clear, we'll just proceed. So for this particular one, we're going to create an account. Okay, just like we can see here, create an account. Okay, so we want to get to know our users. Um, so based on UX writing too, you want your application to be as conversational as possible. So it doesn't seem like it's a robot that is talking to your users. So when you say something like, let's get to know you, okay, that sounds like I want to know this person. Then when we just see create an account, every time create an account, everybody is too serious. So what if we have copies like, let's get to know you? Okay, you can create an account and start exploring, just like what we've seen here. So I'll just copy this whole page here. I know we all know how to do this, so I'll not even stress us or waste our time. Okay, another thing is when you want to prototype, not just for prototyping sake, but for the sake of design principles, not principles, best practices. I think I had mentioned user state here before, right? So if you're designing, you know that when users come on this platform for the first time, what's that first screen they are going to see before they even put in their details, right? So the state will definitely look a bit inactive, just like we can see this CTA button here. I reduced it to 50%, right? So this is just to tell anybody that is coming on this platform that you need to put in your details. Like once you put in these details, okay, then the button becomes active, which we'll see on the next page. Okay. Also designing for user state too, you may need to include this cursor here so that users know that, okay, it's blinking. So even if you're discussing with developers, they can know that, okay, this is like a state to show that the content is like whatever this particular input field, like you need to put in your details. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and paste. And also, when you're designing for accessibility, you may not know the pool of users you may be having. So when we have passwords, right? We usually see the eye icon that can be turned on or turned off. And we also see in some products like Netflix where we have show or hide. So this is basically dependent on, okay, what kind of users are we going to be having? Are they very tech savvy people, that would understand what this icon stands for? Another thing, I'm just saying all these things, like I know we're going to prototyping, but I just want us to take notes. So one small thing too is when you say new password, you're telling your users that we actually want you to type in a new password. It's different from when you just say password. Like if you just tell me password, I may not know. Are you trying to ask me for passwords I have used on other products or other platforms, right? So, and we all know that as designers, we want your product to be very easy for anybody, so that even your youngest brother or sister can quickly sign up on the platform and everybody goes home happy. All right, so I'll just copy this. Create password still works. Create password still works. Okay, I'll just copy this and paste this here. Oh, I've not created this already. Okay, I'm going to include this return arrow and then copy all of this. Assuming we all know how to do this, which I know we do. So I would rename this to be create an account. Inactive user space. Okay. Does this look? Okay, yeah. So that is for this first screen. So now when users have started typing in their password, they need to know that okay, I've started typing. So you can see that in this form field we have here, there's like an outline, and then the cursor has changed color. So that's like it has started blinking. So as a designer, just know that if you should design for all user states. That shows that okay, you actually are going through the empathy that we talked about, both for the developers or for when you want to prototype. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this quickly. Let me create this. See my eyes. Okay, so we can see now that the button is active. I reduce the opacity, or sorry, I increase the opacity. Okay, so we have this, and then I also had included here that something doesn't look okay. Okay, I also had included another user state here, like if the user taps on show, it will show this your password. If they tap on hide, it will go back here. So for that, we'll do the prototyping when we get to that stage. But let me, I think I didn't copy the password. Something is missing. Okay, let me just get everything here. The dots for the password, you can actually create a shape, like it's just circles. You can create a shape like just small, small circles. Okay, so we have this create my account. So when users tap on create their account, we ask them to verify their email to be sure that it's not a robot that is signing up on this platform. So I just want to have empty. So if you say you want your users to be verified via phone number, well, maybe you may need to verify email. Okay, so I'm just going to copy all of this. Okay, so we know that conventionally, the way most applications, recent applications are being developed, they're being developed in a way that just from your mobile app, if you just tap on go to my email, it automatically links the user to any of the email apps they have on their phone. It could be Gmail, it could be Yahoo Mail, right? But whatever mail app, or maybe whatever mail app you have on your phone, it just links you there automatically. So that's why we have the go to my email here. Okay, so I think I should just create an empty page. Feel that's going to help us. Okay, so we have verify your email. All right, so the next thing we have here, this is more like a dummy page. So when you type, when you want, like, you want design to look like, okay, this has been developed already. So you may need to, take screenshots. So what I did, I actually took a screenshot of my app. So this track body is not in existence. Okay, so I just took a screenshot and made some little modifications here and there. So it looks like I actually received an email from them. So most times in emails, like most of these emails you receive, you can actually have a CTA button that can lead you to where they want you to be led to. So we actually want you to activate your account, just like what we have here, that a confirmation email has been sent to XYZ. Please check your mailbox to activate your account. Okay, so I'm just going to copy everything I have here. Everything, I'll click and just drag it way up, way up. Okay, come and see. And then check this here. Okay. There's a difference. Okay, so we've gotten this now. Once you're done activating your account, we want users to see that the account has been successfully activated. So I would just copy this. So once you're done activating, you may need to log in. Okay, so activation successful. Wow, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm too fast. I just saw that I'm too fast. Okay. Okay, I hope I'm not too fast again. Account activated. Sorry, the reason why I'm just fast is because I had designed this already. So I'm just copying and pasting. Okay, verify email screen. Do you have any question about here? Kenny, I doubt. Okay, but what happens here is we want our users to, once you're done creating, like once I'm done creating my account, I may want to, the system would want to verify that it's not a robot that's actually signing up on this platform, right? So we tell you that a confirmation email has been sent. So what happens next is I go to my email and then I just, like I said, I just took a screenshot of my email app. Let me copy. Okay, so activation successful. So your account is now active. Please log in to start exploring. We're not talking about UX writing today, but like your product or your application or whatever thing you're designing needs to be as conversational as possible. So users don't feel like it is an angry bot that is talking to them. Okay, so activation successful. The next thing is to log in. So I'm just going to go over here and then copy this login page. Um, I just want to copy everything. So let me just copy this and paste it here. So we know we are not doing UI today. So I'm just like trying to, okay, so this is like an empty state where we have an inactive button. And then this, I will just copy this and paste this here. Okay, so when they log in, when they've logged in, so welcome Chi, let's explore the world together. So from here, you are now in the platform. Then we ask you where you're traveling to. You select the date you want to travel. And well, how many guests are you going to be having? Like how many people are traveling with you? So this is like an empty state. So I will just copy this quickly. 614. And paste this here. Okay, I hope I'm not too fast. I'm just what I'm doing, I'm just copying and pasting and making a little explanation. Okay, I'll just wait for 2 seconds to see if um okay. So just proceed. So when users tap on dates, this is a modal or like a pop-up which they would see. I'm just going to copy this and paste. So, but you just know that you would design, probably give it a background feel. So you can see that everything is the same, right? But I just gave this a black background so that it's easy for like based on visual hierarchy, right? So this is the very first thing you're going to see. You should choose the date you want to travel. All right, so I'll just copy this page or this frame and take you here. Okay, so that's draft body. And then once you have selected your dates, so this is pre-filled, like everything now has been filled in. I'm just going to copy this and paste this here so we can. Okay, please, I don't want to laugh. Who said first is missing? Okay, sorry. Uh, okay, oh, your eyes are so sharp. Oh. Oh. All right. So we're done. We're not done, so to say, but we're just going to prototype this flow together. So from Explore, we expect that, um, we expect that, from Explore, you should now see. So since I have asked you where are you traveling to and the date you want to travel and how many guests you're going to be having. So the next screen, which we are not going to do, but I'm just going to share, is that it should just show the list of all the amazing places or tourist centers that I could travel to in Morocco, right? So from there I can now select where I want to travel to. All right, so just you should not make me laugh. Okay, so all right, so we'll start prototyping now. So the first thing is the first thing is okay, the first thing is we select this prototype option we have here, right? And then we tap on flow starting point. So now we know now that this is where the flow is going to start from, right? This is like our splash screen, right? So you can also make your prototype settings. So the frame we used was iPhone 11, I guess. Was it iPhone 11? Okay, prototype will tell us, but we use iPhone 11. I can choose to change the background, but I don't want to change that now. So let me just create this. Okay, so what happens if you notice now, once you tap on this prototype, there a node appears here, which looks like you can see if I zoom in, it's like an addition. So you want to link this particular frame to another frame, right? So what I do is that I click and then I drag. So once you click and drag, what you get to see here is what comes up here is like in data interaction details, where you now have to, start playing around. What would you, how do you want the screen or the frame to slide in, or if you want it to, so there are different options here, right? But you can check out all of them at your own spare time, dependent on what you want to do at that point in time. So being that this is a splash screen, now we know how splash screen works. We want it to be that once you open the application for the first time, after maybe some seconds, so I can just choose after delay, right? So when I tap on after delay, so after 800 milliseconds, I want this splash screen to navigate to onboarding screen 1. That's what just happened, right? I can choose instant. How do I want it to navigate? Well, should it be instant or should it dissolve in? So we can just say dissolve. There are different options. When you try it out, you get to see the different interactions. So let's say we want it to dissolve, and 800 milliseconds seems like a short time. So this is still loading. Let's see if we selected the right frame. Okay, yeah, we didn't select the right frame. So I'll go over it one more time. Hold on. For 11 Pro, I think that was what we used. Okay, so let me see what I said again. Okay, so when you select a particular frame, let me delete this and do it again. So I've selected this frame. This is like the splash screen, and I want it to be that when users come on this platform for the first time, after some seconds, I want it to transition into the onboarding screens. So I will choose, there are different options here. Should it be when you tap? If you want this screen to move to the next one once you tap, you select on tap. So it's dependent on what you want to do. Okay. So I want it to be after delay, like after some seconds. I want it to now transition to this screen. So I've selected after delay, and well, the default one is 800 milliseconds. So I now selected that I want it to navigate to onboarding screen 1, this particular screen we have here. So there are so many screens here, but this is the screen I want it to navigate to. And then when it's transitioning, I want it to dissolve. There are different options: instant, dissolve, smart animate, moving, so many of them, slide in or slide out. But I just prefer dissolve for the sake of, because I just want it to be dissolved. Okay, so okay, let's select ease in. Let me see. Okay, so let's see what happens here. 800. What if we make this? Okay, let's just see. Okay, that was too quick, but we also what just happened. Trav body. We didn't have many seconds. That's already moved. This is not what we don't want it to be too quick. So I can increase the milliseconds here to be okay. Please don't make me to laugh. Please, this is a live class. So I'm trying to be as matured as possible. Okay, so I could just make this to be 3,000 milliseconds. So let's see what happens here. Trav body. So it will take a while. All right. So it depends on how many seconds I want it to be delayed before it moves over to the next screen. All right. So that's that's basically what happens in prototyping. Okay, so after delay, we have said, okay, this screen should take us to this screen. Awesome. So now we move over to the next screen. So being that this is prototype, this is like an onboarding, these onboarding screens. We know how onboarding screens work, that, it's sliding from this screen to the next screen to just be changing. So I'm just going to select this and say, okay, from onboarding screen 1 to onboarding screen 2, I don't want it to be on tap. I want it to be after delay. On tap is like I have to tap on the screen before it moves to the next screen. So, but I want it to just happen manually. Like I could just stand and watch it sliding through on its own. So that's why I'm selecting after delay. So 800 milliseconds is too short, but we can still just leave it to be that. I want enough space to be here. So let me. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So after delay, so it will move from onboarding screen 1 to onboarding screen 2. Okay, and then I want it to be that from onboarding screen 2, it should take us to onboarding screen 3 after delay 2. Okay, so we have this 3 now. So I want it to be that from, let's see what we've prototyped. Let's make this 3,000. Let's make this 3,000 too. Okay. Okay, so let's see what's okay. So the reason why I'm making it 3,000 is because I want my users to be able to read what I've written here. It's not graphic design, it's not dancing competition. Like I'm trying to educate users on what this application is about. So the 800 milliseconds was actually too small, right? So let's see, let's start again. So travel body for some seconds, and then we see best travel body. Is it enough time? Okay, I think that was too quick. That seems too quick. Okay, but at least you should be able to. So if 3,000 is too small, we can increase it. Let's just leave it at 3,000. Since this, at least let's just understand the basics. Okay, so we said after delay. So this is for like the 3 onboarding screens here. Slow readers. For slow readers, we could include this here. We could include. I'm sorry, what just happened? I could include this back button. There are different, it depends on how the developer develops the application too, as well. Sometimes if you just the way we have WhatsApp status that you can hold on the screen for a while and then you read everything. So it's dependent on, so that's where documentation comes into, because you may not be able to prototype everything that is in your mind, so to say, but you may need to add like some documentation to, give to the developer that, okay, for XYZ, or maybe for 1 minute, this page should be static so that users can read everything about this application, right? Also, there can be a slide functionality too. So I can just choose to slide in, just slide through. So depending on what you as a designer want to do at the end of the day. Okay, so for situations like that, you may choose to include this back button so that you can return to the previous page and then read everything it's about. Uh, let's see. Okay, all right, so let me just take this out. I don't want this here now. Okay, so we also want it to be that for create an account. So I'm just going to select this call to action button and then click it and drag it here. I'll do the same for this. I'll click it and then take it to the page I want it to be, and it's going to be on tap so that when users tap on create an account, it should take them to this particular screen. So let me see if I can make this background a bit darker. Okay, so we've gotten the wires, so to say, for creating accounts. Okay. We also have something here that if you already have an account, you can log in. So let me just finish everything on this particular page. So for login, remember we had the login page already, which seems a bit too far. So let me just take this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want enough space to be in between. So let's see what's happening here. Okay. So we want to see that when users tap on this login, it should take them to this page here, login page. If they tap on this login, so you're going to do the same thing for each of everywhere we see login. I'll take it here too. Okay, so let's see what happens here now. Trav body. If you cut one wire, everything can scatter. Not really, but if you just disconnect a wire mistakenly, something could happen. Okay, so if I tap on create an account, it has taken me to this screen. So we've not prototyped this back icon. Okay, so let's just go back here and see. So if I tap on already have an account, it takes me to this screen. I hope I'm not too fast. Okay. So we've gotten that. So the next thing we want to see now, the next thing we want to do now is for this screen. So we've said that this is like the empty state. So we want it to be that when users tap on either of these, like automatically should just lead them to this other screen. So the different ways, okay, I could just select all of this. Let me see. If I just group this so it takes them here, but everything is on tap. So when you tap on create my account, to take me to this screen. No, not that. Let's see what we just did. All right, so create an account. Well, if I tap on first and last name, you can see the transition. Okay, Let me take it one more time. To create an account, it takes me to this screen where I've seen all the details. So if I tap on what I just tapped on, first and last name, it has transitioned. Okay, so we've gotten that. Um, Remember we said if you tap on show, we should take you to this screen. And then if you tap on hide, to take you to this screen. So that's like me doing. So let's see if that works. So if I tap on show here, it has transitioned. I hope I'm not too fast. If I tap on hide, it has taken me back to the previous one. So what I did was that I took this little baby. I did not select the whole frame. I selected just what I wanted to transition. So if users tap on new password or tap on show, for example, right? I want them to see like the show and hide feature. Okay, so it takes them to this screen, and if they tap on the hide, it will return to this other screen, which is what just happened here. So hide and then show. Okay, so that's to tell you that like you can link different wires up together and no one is going to penalize you. Like Figma is that broad and able to accommodate too many wires, but you're just making sure that you're not mixing things up so that you don't say the prototype is not working or something is not clicking. Okay, so we've gotten that. So if you tap on create my account, it should take me to verify email. If I tap on create my account in this state, it should take me to verify email. Okay. And then if I tap on go to my email, so everything now is on tap, different from what we had started the first time when we said after delay. So when it comes to a call to action button, buttons are supposed to be tapped. It's not going to ease in or ease out. So even though you want to like maybe play around with the different interaction settings available, like you should just know what is acceptable for a particular design or a particular structure, a particular feature at the point in time. Okay, so go to my email, should take me here. That's what I'm saying. Activate, so it takes me to, so if you notice, I didn't do any on drag or on click, all of those. All right, so if I tap on activate my account, so like I said before, prototyping is like you've already come up with a user flow. You know that this is how this app is supposed to go. Not is at this point now that you now start asking yourself, go to my email, go to my email. Where am I supposed to go to by this time? No, you've already come up with the flow already. So when you're just prototyping, you're just connecting the wires and adding interactions where need be. Okay, so once you tap on activate my account, it should take me to this screen. Everything is still on tap. It should dissolve in. Well, there are different options here. It can be instantly, but I just love dissolve. Like I said, because I like dissolve. Okay, and then we've said that once you tap on login, so when I tap on login now, I will take it and drag it and drag it and drag it and drag it. So where are you? Here. Okay, that was a long wire, but I tried to drag it. Okay, let's just see something real quick. So create my account, go to my email. So if you notice, this is not going to, it's not like the after delay that we had used before, that we can say after a few seconds, you should move to the next screen. No, in these kind of situations, like you want users to actually take the action on their own. So you're not going to start choosing slide in or slide out, So it is on tap. So activate my account. Activation successful. Congratulations, your account is now active. Please log in to start exploring. I tap on login. So this is where we are now. Okay, so I dragged that. Okay, so now we are here in login page. This is like the empty user state. So when you tap here, we drag it. I clicked and I dragged. Everything is still on top. Okay, no, I don't want it that way. So this is what I want users to tap on. So I could just select this and then take it over here. So once you tap on email address, it automatically fills it in for you, and then the call to action button becomes active. Okay. Let me do this. Design G. Okay. So we have, okay. I've not activated the login CTA. So once I tap on login, it will take me here, right? Let's see it. So let's tap on login. It has dissolved into welcome. Okay, so let's go back. We have explore now. So just one small thing. If you notice, before I had given these active users, they are just included this particular one because I want it to be that users can manually select the dates they want to travel. So there are some situations where you want it to be like a drop down, but I don't know why selecting a date should be a drop down. These are just like industry best practices. Like users should be able to, you actually should be able to, manually select the dates they want to travel. Some situations, some very advanced app, they may want to include a time. So that one is dependent on the way the structure of the app has been made to be. So it could be that, okay, some people want to travel XYZ time, or as the case may be. Okay, so we want it to be that when users tap on these dates now, it should take them to this screen. So I am not going to connect this whole screen to this one because that's not the plan. I just want this alone, this date, to take me to this screen. So you can actually choose a particular element that you want to be reflected in another frame without selecting the whole frame, and it still works. So let's see if this is going to happen. So I select dates. So we've seen now that it has dissolved in. So if I manually choose whatever time, or sorry, whatever day I want to travel. So we're now going to prototype that. Once you tap on OK, or I could just select the whole of this frame, assuming that this is the time I want to travel. So if I tap on OK, it will take me to this page that shows everything has been filled already. So I'll drag this to. So now two things are involved. If you notice what just happened, so I selected the whole frame and took it straight to this active state or this pre-filled state. However, I selected just this date to take us here. I didn't select all of these. So you can choose a particular element you want to be seeing in another frame and just link it up together. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so if I select OK, it has taken me to this screen. And then, like we said before, the Explore will take you to the list of all the pages or all the places available on that platform. Okay, so now let's let's connect this return arrows. Okay, so I'll just take this back here and say this should take us here. This should take us back here. Let me be sure. Let me copy this. This here. So let me copy this and paste this here, but I feel like this prototype will still lead me here. So I may want to disconnect this and take it to be here. So one small thing too, when you copy a particular element that you've prototyped already, even if you copy it and you paste it, it automatically assumes the flow, or you know how if I copy this now, for example, let's say I copy this particular back button. So I just copy this and paste this here. And then I'm forgetting that it's okay. So if I tap on prototype now, you can see it's leading us to this particular frame, which so it's already assuming that direction already. So if you want to, one small tip, if you want to copy properties or details, right, you may need to ensure that you had done that already before you start prototyping, because once you prototype a particular product, it still assumes or it still takes the direction or the details, or I'm trying to get the right word, the direction of that particular flow. So you may just want to, I'll just delete this. So this is how you delete a particular node. You just select it and then you delete it. Okay. So we want this, if you tap on welcome to, should take us back here. Let's see, where was this taking us to? Okay. Okay. How do you make a page scrollable? When you say scrollable, it depends on if you have so much content on the page. So if for example I have, like, this is not the end of the page. So let's say I have all of this here, like I had extended the frame, and then I have so many content. Once it's been prototyped, let me see if I have that. You can see I'm already scrolling through. CTA to be fixed. I just select this fixed position when scrolling. So I can just select this two here. Control Z. Let me select these two and then say fixed position when scrolling. So if you scroll, you can see that the CTA button and this other line here, it's not moving. So this is just like the very basic explanation on how that works. So I'm seeing another question, which is how I deleted the wire. Okay, let me go to prototype mode. So I could just select, but when you want to delete a wire, be sure of the beginning and the end of the wire so that you don't. So you just select the wire. So as you can see, if I hover on either of these wires, like you can see, the blue line becomes darker. So if I tap on this, I will just delete it. So let me Control Z before I will delete something. Okay. So let us start from the very beginning. So Trav body. So you can it's possible to, like, everyone can, like, anybody can make a mistake, right? So you may just need to keep on playing your prototype to be sure that what you've selected, what you said the prototype should do is actually what it is doing. Okay. So I feel there's something here I didn't do. Let me see on this onboarding. I wanted it to be that when you're done scrolling here, let's click and drag this back here on top. Let's make it after delay. Let's make this 3,000. So what I want to happen is these three screens will just be sliding till I tap on create an account or something else. Let's see if that happens. Okay. So just to answer that question, so if I want to share this prototype now, on this prototype page which we have here, I can tap on share prototype. So I can say anybody with the link. So the only thing they are seeing is a prototype. It's different from when you're sharing your Figma board. This one, everybody can see the dirty work, like everything that has happened in here. But if you're sharing just your prototype, the only thing they can access is this whole screen, like everything happening here. You can also choose to change, I don't know, you can also choose to, under show prototype, you can choose to change the model of the phone. I do not like midnight green. And then you can change the background. Let's see if that's going to work. which is not going to look normal. And we can choose to make it white. So this is me changing the background of this. Okay, it's going to reload, which seems to take forever. Can we wait? Okay. So there you have it. Okay. So create an account will take us here. Then we put our name. If I want this to show, I choose show. If I want it to hide. So we can see the transition in here. So if I say create an account or create my account, so this is like you personalizing your action. All right, so go to my email, activate my account, login, email address, and then so if I had designed a screen for forgot password, I would have prototyped that, but we don't have that here. So log in, and then we ask you where you're traveling to. So this is like an empty state. If we have put in the details already, it becomes active. And then it's return back to. Okay, can be animated. It depends on the kind of animated typing. So probably, when we see those screens that the like activation, maybe it looks like you manually ticked success. All those are possible, but that's like advanced um an advanced prototyping something. Yeah, but it's very possible. Apart from Figma, there are still other tools you can use to do prototype that is really, really crazy. We have Protopie, we have Framer. Yeah, like Protopie is really a great tool, and then Framer too. So apart from Figma, you can still use either of those tools, but for the sake of consistency and follow up, we just use that. Okay, so it's 3 minutes to 7, and I guess that's our class is almost over. So are there any further questions? If there are no questions related to this, okay, Ethan, you can ask your question in 30 seconds because I know another class is supposed to happen now.
Okay,
Ethan,
good,
yeah, please ask your question.
good
Good
evening. Sorry,
evening.
the part about the scrolling screen, I didn't really get that. Please, can you go over it again?
Okay, scrolling. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So let's say we have this screen already. This screen here. So I'm not in prototype mode, like I'm inside the normal design mode, right? Why is this showing? Can you see my Figma board? Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I can, if I want, so we have some so let's say something like, let me see if I have this here. Um so let's say something of this sort now. Like we had extended the frame to be longer, right? And then maybe we want this discover now to be static so that no matter how long you scroll, one particular button or one particular element is still static. So you're just going to, like, you basically just select the frame and like you make it longer. Like you manually make it longer. So let's say I want this to be, let's say I want this to be static, so it's not moving. I select both of them. And then I select fixed position when scrolling. So in my prototype mode now, let's see if we can just quickly manually scroll down there. Is it this one? No. Okay. So as I'm scrolling down now, you can see that, let me add more elements so it looks more realistic. Just for context, let me give this a background, which is not fine. Okay, so if I'm scrolling down now, can you see? So, but this CTA button is still static, it's not moving. So that's how the scrolling works. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you too. How to add emojis on Figma? I'll just show you that quickly. Stanley, please, you can ask your question.
Yeah.
Stanley, please, you can ask your question.
Okay. So after prototyping our work, like
Okay.
submit. So like, how do you know our flows? Like, how do you know how we made, like, how we did our flows? Now I'm trying to ask.
Sorry, ask your question one more time.
Okay, so when we submit the link for our prototype,
Okay.
so basically you're just going to see the link. You're just going to see the first page, and you actually don't know how it moves, like the next thing to press and all of that. So how will you know that?
Okay, so that is to say, okay, so it's just like if I share this link with you now for the first time, I'm just like, hey Stanley, this is an app I worked on. I want you to look at the app. So now it's just similar to when you're giving your app out for users to, give you feedback on. The app should, like, I should know the next thing to do when I'm just on that screen. Like if you send me if you submit a link to your prototype, I should know that the very first thing you want me to do now is create an account. So you're just sharing one link, but that one link contains the whole flow. So it's not like you're going to be there to say, please create an account. It's not like a one-on-one user interview or usability testing that you're doing. I don't know if that answers your question, but the design should communicate, like it should be very communicative. So I know that, okay, I want users to create an account. So once you create an account, the next thing is for you to put in your details. So it should just communicate. I don't know if that answers your question because I'm answering based on what I understand.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so it's just like this screen now. Yeah, thank you. So just like this screen now, I could just assume that, okay, so if I'm a newbie, let's say I'm just a random person and then someone shares this link with me. I'm just seeing first and last name. I should know that, okay, maybe I'm supposed to try to type. So this one, that the app has not yet been built, that you can see, okay, you just know that once you tap on first and last name, it means you should start typing. So if I just tap on first and last name, it should just take me to this screen. Then I've seen that this is inactive. Sorry, this is now active.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Kenny, please, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. Please, when I was doing my other assignment, I kept having the issue of where you write the name of the screen, like splash screen and all of that. I kept having the
Okay.
issue that it disappears and I don't know how to bring it back.
Was it a frame?
Yes, normally, when I started, it was all there, but I don't know, maybe while working on them or something, I noticed that since about 3 or 4 of the screens, I didn't find anywhere to write the titles any longer.
Okay, you mean some just like this, like what we can
Yes,
see now.
yes,
So
where you
this
have that splash screen, yes, where we change the name of the screen.
well, I haven't experienced that before, because if it's a frame, definitely the names are always there. Like it doesn't get missing, except if I'm missing something. But I just feel like except if you just created a normal shape. Sometimes we just manually select a shape or something. But if it's a frame, maybe you can just try it out again. But if it's a frame, the names are always there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you too. Okay, so I guess there are no further questions. All right. Recommended height for input field. Sorry, I missed that question. Okay, well, input fields, it's just like you're not going, there's a rule of thumb. You know that if you're designing for mobile, the the element should be comfortable enough for someone to be able to tap through. So it's just like this one now. I actually made it bigger, but in some situations it could still be 48, like which is for a call to action button. So sometimes it just depends on, maybe you just want to add some spices, or make it look bigger, but not big in like that kind of big. So something of this sort now is 63. 63, sometimes people use 63 for call to action button, which is too big, right? But at the end of the day, it should just be comfortable for the thumb to actually tap through without um any challenge. So, but I can actually get back to you on that, because, or you can just Google it. Let's just say, just Google it, like recommended input fields, because it differs over, like it differs. People could have something that is, you know, bigger, but it should not be too tiny like this. Like it should not be too small like this. This will not make sense now. What could this be? Even if this is a game, you know. So it can be 48. So if this were to be 48, for example, if this were to be 48, you can see it still looks normal and okay. Yeah. So, but let me go back to my 63. Okay, and then how to add emojis. You will just download, let me see something quick. If I go to Emojipedia, which is where I download most of my emojis, emojipedia.org, you would see a handful of emojis here. So you're just going to import it like a normal image. So let's say we choose hands waving, or wave your hands. Hands. Now, we want waving hand. So just take note, like Emojipedia it's a platform where I get emojis from. Okay, so I will just so many of them. Let's just choose WhatsApp. WhatsApp looks a bit normal. So I have that here. I'm thinking of where we can put it. Okay, welcome to. Okay, import. Okay, and just quickly import this. So I've placed it so I can put it in here and resize it. So, okay. So that's how to put emojis on Figma. Okay, so I guess we have no further questions. Tola, okay, we've taken note of your comment here. Your work will be reviewed. Yes. Okay, so thank you all for your listening time. We've come to the end of today's class, and I hope it was exciting for you. You've learned something new. So just apply this knowledge on prototyping on your promotional task, and see you all on Tuesday next week.